As I look back now, I can see that what almost broke me was really the place where God started remaking me. Back then, I didn't have language for it. All I knew was pain. All I knew was loss. All I knew was that my life had changed, and I didn't know how to live inside that change. I was laying there, stuck in that bed, watching time move, while feeling like my life wasn't moving at all. And that kind of pain will mess with your mind, because when your body won't respond and your future don't look like nothing you imagine, you start asking questions that come from a wounded place. You start wondering if your life still means anything. You start wondering if God kept you here for a reason, or if you just got left behind. And if I'm being honest, that's where I was. I felt like I had no purpose. Not because I was weak, but because everything I used to identify with was stripped from me. Before all this, I knew who I was. I was in the streets. I was hustling. I was doing what I could to have something, trying to make a better way. That life wasn't right, but it was familiar. It gave me identity. It gave me movement. It gave me something to hold on to. Then all that got taken from me. And when you lose the version of yourself you used to know, you go through a different kind of grief. Not just grief over what happened to you, grief over who you used to be. That's what people don't always understand. The bullets did damage, but the silence after did something too. Being denied therapy, being down for years, trying to get back on my feet and feeling like nothing was changing. That kind of weight will make you feel forgotten. It will make you feel like you're breathing, but not really living. And I reached a point where I had to be honest with God. I said, Lord, this can't be it for me. I'm supposed to be somebody. And that cry didn't come from pride. It came from something deeper. It came from the part of me that still believed, even under all that pain, that my life had to mean more than this. And that's when I heard it. Not with these ears, but in my spirit. He said, son, you are somebody. You're the same man I raised from birth. The same man I kept with 3 bullets in his head. The same man I brought through when the world thought you were finished. You beat it then, you're gonna beat it again. And however many times it takes, you're gonna fight. That word hit me different, because it reminded me that I wasn't empty. I wasn't forgotten. I wasn't finished. I had lost my identity, but I had not lost my calling. And there's a difference. See, pain will make you forget who you are. Delay will make you question what God said. And disappointment will make you think heaven is gone silent. But just because God is silent doesn't mean he's absent. Just because you don't see movement doesn't mean he ain't working. That's what I know now. What felt like delay was development. What felt like being buried was really being planted. What felt like I was wasting away was God building something in me that could only be built in brokenness. That bed taught me things success never could. It taught me how fragile life is. It taught me how easy it is to lose yourself. It taught me that strength ain't always loud. Sometimes strength is just waking up again when you don't even understand why you're still here. Sometimes strength is breathing through pain. Sometimes strength is crying and still believing. Sometimes strength is holding on to one whisper from God when everything else in your life feels empty. And that whisper saved me. Not all at once, not overnight, but enough to keep me here. Enough to keep me fighting. Enough to keep me from letting pain write the end of my story. So when I say the man who got back up, I'm not just talking about physically. I'm talking about spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I'm talking about the moment I stopped seeing myself as just a victim of what happened and started realizing I was a witness to what God could do. That was the real awakening. Not when I got all my answers, not when life got easy, but when I understood that if God kept breath in my body, then he still had purpose over my life. And that's the wisdom I carry now. Sometimes God will let your old identity fall apart so your real identity can rise. Sometimes he'll let you sit in the questions until you're finally ready for the truth. Sometimes he'll break your dependence on who you used to be so you can discover who he called you to become. So now when I look back, I don't just see tragedy. I see process. I see mercy. I see grace. I see a God who refused to let me die because there was still something in me that had to live. And if I'm still here, then I'm not here by accident. I'm here by assignment. I rise not by chance, but by calling.